Being in the custom mechanical keyboard market can be very expensive, with some boards costing well over $1,000. Today we're taking a step back from the out-of-stock items and flipped market prices and looking at a high-quality board that is mass-produced and highly modular. To get a gauge in the market, most full aluminum cases that are 60% usually cost around $110 to $120. A hot swap Type-C RGB PCB usually costs around $40. Keycaps and switches have a huge variation on price depending on the type of quality and layout and colorway you're looking for, so I can't really give a solid price on that. Now let's look into the specs of the GK68XS. It's quite the name, isn't it? It doesn't have any official pricing as of yet, but on Kickstarter, if you want to get the exact board I have here, it's $169 with Gatoron switches and wireless connectivity with a 1900 milliamp battery. There seems to be options for wired connectivity and cherry switches if you choose to do so when it officially launches. The price will most likely be higher since these are Kickstarter prices. From the site, it looks like you'll be able to choose a combination of switches between Gatoron and cherry, even on the same board, a choice of case color, and some small layout choices on the bottom row. I love seeing the layout options on a hot swap keyboard, especially for a split spacebar. It's very innovative. The board I have here comes with a decent felt case, which is a great touch, extra keycaps for the alternative layout options, spare switches, and a switch puller. The plate mod for the alternative layout, a braided USB-C cable, and a keycap puller. The PCB has full RGB functionality and even has software control, which unfortunately I don't have access to as of yet since this is an early production model, but glad to see that it's being implemented. There are also plastic case options as well in case the aluminum option is too expensive. The board I have here is using Gatoron Browns with dye sublimated XDA profile PBT keycaps, and here's what the board sounds like stock. Right now the board sounds a bit hollow since all the sound is bouncing off the hard surfaces within the aluminum case. The Gatoron Browns are alright for what they are, but we can put much nicer switches in there since the PCB supports a 5-pin hot swap, which is absolutely amazing. No need to clip pins off your switches anymore. You can put almost any Cherry MX style switch in there. The modifier keys and stabilizers sound a little bit rattly, but nothing too crazy. The stabilizers do come pre-lubed anyways and are plate mounted, but are very decent anyways. Overall, the board sounds good and feels decent for stock and much better than the majority of plasticky feeling options you get for much cheaper and even close to the $150 price point. We'll get into modifying in a bit, but let's look at a few more things. There's only one USB-C port and it's on the left side of the case. I wish it was in the center, but a standard standalone PCB that you usually find on the market has the port on the left side anyways. Angle of the board is not officially given, but the angle is comfortable and compares well with the standard tofu case angle. Now, time to dissect the board. The plate material is made out of a plastic-like material, but doesn't feel like plastic. Honestly feels like PCB, printed circuit board. The layout mod to the bottom row is held in with 3 screws. Also be mindful when removing the plate since it's held in with 2 different types of screws. Once all the screws are removed, the plate can be easily lifted out of the case. Once the plate is out, you can tilt the case over and have the PCB fall out of it. Just be careful when removing the PCB as there is a wire attached to it for the battery if you have the wireless version of the board. A missed opportunity with this board is that there are no mounting holes for screw-in stabilizers. The stock ones are really good to begin with, but for modularity, it would be nice to see the mounting holes for screw-in stabs. And if you were wondering if the case supported other PCBs, it does not, at least to my knowledge. It has proprietary standoffs, which I wouldn't mind if there was the option for screw-in stabilizers, but it looks like the only PCB working with this board is the one it came with. Now I'm going to place some sorbethane to dampen some of the ping inside the case, mod the stabs with Krytox 205 grade 0 and Dieletric grease, and Band-Aid mod them as well. Add my own cream switches lubed with Krytox 105 and put in these Max Key ABS SA caps to transform this into a custom keyboard. Here's what it sounds like. Honestly, that sounds really good. I love the way that this board turned, and it turned out really well. I'm impressed for a pre-built keyboard to have this much customization to come out of the factory. However, it isn't exactly cheap either, and I wish it had support for other PCBs. There's no information that I found telling me otherwise. Also, I wish there were mounts for screw-in stabilizers. Other than that, I'm impressed with the quality all around. The case is machined very well. The stock keycaps are solid. The stabilizers are snug and well made and don't wobble a ton, and the RGB looks great. I'm happy to see this board being mass produced and offered with as many options as it does, and it helps bring in newcomers to the hobby without overwhelming them since it's all right here in one place. And hopefully this is something that can remain in stock without being a flipped item and artificially increasing the price. If you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing and checking out the rest of the channel. My name is JD. I'll catch you in the next one.